Hello and welcome back to Blues Armory, where it's been a while. And where have I been and what have I been doing? Well, let's talk about it. So for the past couple of months, I've been getting ready to do my first vendor table at a convention of sorts. Past weekend, or whenever this video comes out, maybe a few weekends ago, I took part in Sandbox Swapmeet Volume 5, I think, at the Spring Souk here in Dubai. Sandbox Swapmeet is a community-focused sort of event that they've been having for the past couple of years, where vendors, collectors, hobbyists get together and share their passions about the certain things that they're into. Now, being in the Middle East, where conventions and pop culture is very focused towards anime and Pokemon, there's a lot of anime and Pokemon. But they're really fun events. I usually display there with AFOL Middle East, and we display a bunch of our Lego. But this time I decided that I wanted to sort of display some of the cosplay props and Star Wars armor that I've been making and put a couple of things up for sale. So I got in touch with them a couple of months ago, got the table, and then I realized that I should probably start making some stuff to display and sell. Obviously I was only going to work within stuff that I could sell, which I had a license for, so that was Galactic Armory stuff, because I'm on their Patreon, which gives me a commercial license to sell their files once I've created them into something. So what did we have? We had a load of little mini clone trooper helmets, which I made one ages ago, and I thought this would be a fun thing to like just sell at a local little fair or something. And then I decided I was going to do this for Sandbox Swapmeet, and I'd actually have to make quite a few of these. And that's when it kind of went from being a hobby to being like, oh, I have to do this, otherwise I'll have nothing to sell. So I ended up, alongside having a full-time job, I managed to get about 15 Phase 2 clone troopers. Then we had a TIE pilot, a shore trooper, the Stranger helmet from the Acolyte, which funny enough, loads of people, not loads, a few people came up and noticed that it was from the Acolyte, and I was expecting them to be like, oh, the Acolyte, what a dumb show. But like, out of the 4 or 5 people that recognized the helmet, they were like, no, the show was fine, I enjoyed it. Which is strange, because compared to the discourse online. Anyway, I did a whole video about the Acolyte, you can go watch that. But we also had on display a couple of helmets I made, including Mr. TIE Pilot helmet, Jango Fett, and something else as well. And I just wanted to display off some of the bits of armor that I'd made and try and get people interested and into Star Wars costuming, because there's not a massive group of people here that are in Star Wars. Like I said, it's very anime and Pokemon based fandoms over here. So hopefully we got some people riled up for Star Wars costuming, and I'm happy to help people with that. I also put together this female Mandalorian helmet, and considering I wasn't planning on making a fresh brand new helmet for this event, I put that together in like a week. In fact, this was actually one of the helmet tests I did for Jess, which ended up just being a little bit too small, and it's just sat on a shelf as a raw print for like months. So I decided to finish it up, and it actually looks really nice, and it might be my favorite helmet that I've ever painted. But overall, the event was super, super fun. We had our own table. Jess spent the whole weekend with me sitting at a table, and I have so much respect for people that do full-on conventions across the world, whether you're traveling the States or the UK or anywhere in Europe or Asia, because I've been to hundreds of Comic Cons, and I've done them in cosplay, I've done them not in cosplay, and you're usually pretty tired by the end of the day, especially if you're in like a full-blown costume. But somehow I was more exhausted doing it as like a vendor exhibitor, because you're sat down most of the day. You get there before everyone gets there, because you need to get in and get your stuff in and set up your table, and then you also leave after everyone's left, because that's when you have to move your stuff out. So you're there for a very long time, And whereas when I'm in a helmet costume, like if I'm in the Mando, I don't really have to talk to anyone. You can kind of just walk around, flip the rangefinder up and down and do some points and people are happy. But because I was, really excited to just talk to people about costuming and Star Wars, I spoke so much, and like I woke up on Monday morning after it with like no voice because it was exhausting, but incredibly fun. I had so many lovely conversations about Star Wars, and like I had a guy come over and we were gushing about like Brian Muir sculpted costumes and set pieces, and like he knew who that was, and he was talking, it was an older guy from the UK who was talking to me about like what it was like in the 70s and how he's grown up with Star Wars, and I was like, I grew up with Star Wars but just the prequels, not the original trilogy, but anyway. So it was amazing, and I would genuinely really love to do that again because, like I said, not a lot of people to talk Star Wars in this country with. So it's nice to meet some like-minded individuals who want to just chat about Star Wars, and especially Star Wars costuming, because I love talking about Star Wars costuming. On the selling side of things, would I do it again? I don't really need to like sell things. I kind of just really enjoyed talking to people. I probably sold like 5 helmets and just about covered my costs of the table, the materials, like paint, filler primer and PLA. So I didn't make like a stupid amount of money, but I made enough money so that I didn't lose money, which is fantastic. And I just had a really good time. Again, exhausting, but honestly, thank you to the Sandbox Swapmeet team. They are absolutely lovely people. Thank you to everyone that came over and spoke to me at the weekend. Thank you to the people that came over that I've been seeing at cons for ages and supported me, because that was really nice for people that I have conversations with at conventions then to see me with a table and come over and just support me and everything. And thanks to all the lovely people that I met, even if I didn't have any idea what you were selling or talking about or anything. Everyone was really nice. I would love to do something like that again, maybe just do one day, because I actually did miss out being in costume. I've just gotten so used to being at like conventions, even though this isn't really a convention, sort of. It's in a mall, but I've gotten so used to being in costume at a convention, and then to see all the cosplayers walking up and down and then me not also being in costume felt very weird to me, but not in a bad way, just weird. But yeah, that's pretty much why I've done no content. I've been working on helmets and getting stuff ready, and it's been a whole thing, and I work as well. I have a full-time job. This is not a job for me. I do this for fun. Funny story, actually. I took the TIE Pilot helmet, which is my favourite helmet that I've made, and people were like, how much for this helmet? And I thought, I could sell this helmet, and then like I could just get another one from like Moncal Prop Shop. And then people were asking me, I was like, actually I don't want to sell this helmet, but now people keep asking me. I'm just going to put the price to like so high that if someone buys it, great, I could probably get 3 helmets, but also I don't want to sell it. By the end of it, people were like, how much for the helmet? I was like, it's like 5,000 dirhams, which is like almost $2,000. But I'd always preface that by saying I don't really want to sell it, so that's why I'm just putting this stupid price on it, because I love this helmet. I love it. That was so weird. I do love this helmet though, and it is finished pretty much, which brings me on to the last thing I want to talk about. Is that now that Sandbox is out the way, now that summer's out the way, now that I might have a little bit more time before I go on holiday, I'm going to start doing builds again for things I want to do. In fact, let me show you. I printed this like 3 months ago with the intention of like taking my beaten and battered Jango Fett costume and just like reworking it into a completely new costume. So I printed this, I can't remember who this is from. Buck the Mando, maybe? I think so. I printed this and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make a new Mando, and then look, it's in orange. That's how long ago. I only print in black PLA. I had orange PLA like 4 or 5 months ago, and this is still here. Anyway, because I'm doing more stuff, I am determined to finish this bloody tie pilot. It's like just everywhere. Like it's just here. It is so dusty and just not finished. And I'm like 70% of the way there. The helmet's done, the chest box is done, the back just needs a tiny bit. I just need to do the straps, get some boots. I've even got a belt now because of my Imperial Officer costume. So I will get that finished. Anyway, that's what is coming up at some point. And then maybe some smaller builds and just some cool printed stuff, because I'm also looking at upgrading my 3D printer to something bigger. But that'll do. Sandbox Swapmeet, amazing. More prop stuff and more costuming stuff coming soon. Thank you very much to everyone that's, even though I've not been making content, I'm still getting like constant comments through, people watching my stuff, which is really nice of people to do considering I haven't made a video in like a month. Anyway, rambling too much. That's it. That's my very quick update on Sandbox and what's happening next. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great week ahead. Happy crafting. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.